The year is 2015. You wake up on a nice February morning and oh my god. Dragon Ball Xenoverse has just been released. The game is amazing. You can create your own character. There's a brand new unique storyline. There's a hub world. It's crazy. Go online and fight with your friends. Granted, the combat was a little iffy in Xenoverse 1, but at the time it was great. Nothing can beat this. There's nothing that could beat this. But fast forward, boys, because now it's 2016, October. Last night was a little rough. You didn't sleep as well as you did before because in 2015, things were a little simpler, all right? You got a little more responsibilities now. It's 2016. You're 1 year older, but there's no need to fear because Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 has just been released. Again, you can make your own character. The story is a continuation of that unique epic story from Xenoverse 1. Going through different timelines, having your character meet all of these other characters. Combat has been tightened up. There's much more unique combo strings. A whole slew of brand new moves. Nothing can beat this game. It's the greatest. Nothing could beat it. But then all of a sudden, things get sad. You become a puppy. You know those sad movies where the puppy is just waiting for the owner to come back? Puppy is just sitting on the side, starts to rain, they're just sitting there waiting for their owner to come back. The owner ain't coming back. You wanna know what the owner does? He gives that dog some DLC, just a little piece of him every once in a while. The year is now 2019, closing in on 2020, and there is no sign of Xenoverse 3. What have we been given in exchange? DLC. See, DLC Pack 1, I was like, cool, you know, every game needs its DLC. 2, 3, 4. I was like, all right, every game needs its DLCs. I understand. Dragon Ball Super was going on at the time. There's a lot of new stuff that you could be adding in correlation with Dragon Ball Super. And DLC 5 rolled around. Cool. DLC 6. All right, yeah, 7. 8. 9. And there has been announcements that there will be a DLC 10. Fellas, it is 2019 and we are on DLC Pack 10! Yes! Of Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. With all these DLCs, naturally people have been thinking there's never going to be a Xenoverse 3 because clearly they can make the money that they want off of DLC. So what's the point of a Xenoverse 3? Ain't none. And for a while, I think I agreed with them. I was a little concerned. Ain't gonna be no Xenoverse 3. Who we fooling? But then all of a sudden, fellas, news outside of the Dragon Ball realm of video games emerged. The legendary PlayStation 4, Xbox One era is coming to a close, my friends. Meaning the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Zero, whatever the f they're gonna call it, is on its way! On my way! Now, why is this a big deal? I mean, if you look back on Xenoverse 1, I'd pick it up, but I threw it over there. It was released almost in correlation with PlayStation 4. If I'm not mistaken, it was the first Dragon Ball title that was on the PS4. Yes, it came out on PS3 and Xbox 360 as well, but it was also the first Dragon Ball title on the PlayStation 4. If I'm wrong, I'll put it on the screen. If there ain't nothing on the screen, I was right. So this leads me to theorize that Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 will be released at some point with the PlayStation 5. Or Xbox, whatever. The more you think about it, the more it starts to make sense. Maybe they're waiting on a monster, a real monster.
Real monsters?
Like the PlayStation 5 or Xbox blank, before they pursue a Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3. Because I mean, think about it. It needs to have a trilogy at bare minimum. You can't just stop at 2. This isn't Raging Blast.
That's gonna trigger some people.
But really, if you look at the sales of the Dragon Ball Xenoverse series, the numbers speak for themselves. It needs a sequel. And the only reason I could see them waiting this long is because they don't want to repeat the same mistake that they made when it came to Dragon Ball Z Infinite World, for example. I have no idea what I'm talking about, eh? This is Dragon Ball Z Infinite World. Dragon Ball Z Infinite World was released on the PlayStation 2 after the PlayStation 3 came out. Want to know what happened to its sales? They suffered. It was terrible. And what's sad is this is the best Dragon Ball Z Budokai. This is essentially Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3.5. They just tightened up the mechanics, added a little something here, took a little something away, the randomness of Dragon Rush. It was a great game. This is a great game. But the sales did not do well because of the timing of its release. So if they were to hypothetically make a Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 right now and start developing it right now, knowing that there is this unstoppable wave on its way, known as the PlayStation 5 era, I'm just not going to say the Xbox thing because I don't know what they're going to call it. It would be foolish for them to start development now, risk not finishing it until after the PlayStation 5 is released, and and then they have this game that they've made on the PlayStation 4, release on the PlayStation 4, and then it wouldn't sell nearly as well because all the attention is on the PlayStation 5. And if they did make it on the PlayStation 4 and tried to port it over to the PlayStation 5, then it just looks like, oh, they're just porting over the game from the PlayStation 4 to the PlayStation 5. Everybody knows how gamers talk. They know you now. They know us. So the big brain thing to do, to wait for the PlayStation 5 to release, or at least begin development around the time that it's like officially announced, and release it sometime early in the life cycle of the PlayStation 5. And honestly, I think that is the smartest, best move possible for the quality of this hypothetical Xenoverse 3. I mean, think of all the good stuff Xenoverse will have. One, all the DLCs that they have released in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 should be base characters in Xenoverse 3, which is a lot of characters. Also, with all the punch that a PlayStation 5 will pack, the mechanics should be amazing, and the potential of a whole slew of different game modes, new, unique, just customization features should be through the roof because they're not going to be held back by the console. Not that the PS4 would really hold it back, because obviously we've seen extremely impressive things on the PlayStation 4, so clearly it's not a viable excuse, but you know, whatever. So yes, my friends, my prediction, it might be an obvious one. I'm not the only one who has this idea, but my thought is Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 will be released on the PlayStation 5. So I wouldn't be expecting any sort of Xenoverse 3 leak or whatever until after we start getting more information about the PlayStation 5 or the next gen of game consoles, period. Have I been wrong before? Yes. Do I hope I'm wrong and maybe it comes out early? Partially, but at the same time, I would rather them just do this game right, make it perfect, make it the best Dragon Ball game experience that I've ever had. Because Xenoverse 2, man, you're done. You're done. You're done. It's just, you're done. You've run your course. That's enough. Yeah, I'm still going to buy DLC 10, but that's enough, all right? It's almost 2020. It's time for the next thing.